We've all heard about the war on drugs. Well, this one's real. The global trade sent us war, and I want to talk about the American strength that is sinking the enemy. We're not dealing with a policy challenge. We are dealing with a hostile invasion. An invasion waged not by armies, but by criminal cartels sending weapons of mass destruction across our borders and onto our streets. As scripture tells us, we must be vigilant because, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. We must guard the heart of our nation, of our children, and our communities. This is the new reality of the war on drugs. And finally, we have an administration who is treating it with the gravity and the force it demands. For too long, we allowed weak policies and half measures to cripple our communities. And the result? The tragic data speaks for itself. 10 years ago, the annual death toll from drug overdoses was horrific, around 47,000 lives lost. But as we sat on our hands, the cartels escalated the attack. By 2022, that number surged to nearly 108,000 deaths in a single year. That is a slaughter. That is an act of war against the American people. This isn't just about drugs anymore. It's about a chemical weapon. It's about fentanyl. It's about cocaine. It's about everything that these boats are bringing in from other countries. We're talking about a substance so deadly it has entirely redefined the crisis. In 2013, before this plague took hold, synthetic opioids accounted for only a handful of deaths. By 2022, that total had exploded to over 73,000 deaths. Fentanyl is not just a narcotic, it is a cheap, potent poison being deliberately mixed into cocaine, methamphetamine, and counterfeit pills. The victims aren't just addicts, they are innocent Americans poisoned by cartels who have no respect for life, law, or our sovereignty. This is the grim backdrop that defines the Trump administration's approach. We are witnessing a fundamental shift from managing the crisis to crushing the enemy. The new policy is clear: designation of these criminal networks as foreign terrorist organizations. That's not rhetoric. That is moral and military clarity. We are no longer dealing with simple criminals. We are dealing with narco terrorists, and they must be met with overwhelming American strength. We are standing firmly on the mandate of justice, knowing that our leaders do not bear the sword in vain. They are the agent of wrath, bringing punishment on the wrongdoer. This is a righteous fight for law and order. The most decisive action in this new campaign is taking place where the enemy least expect it, on the high seas. You've seen the reports: high-speed vessels, narco submarines hit with lethal force, sunk, neutralized. Critics, who always prefer bureaucracy to boldness, question this strategy. They ask, why are you sinking boats carrying cocaine when the crisis is fentanyl? But they miss the point entirely. When the president says the intelligence confirms these vessels are loaded with mostly fentanyl and other illegal narcotics, we trust that claim because the intelligence community is finally backed up by a commander-in-chief willing to act on their findings. The goal is to choke off the entire supply chain, whether it is bulk cocaine that fuels cartels' income or concentrated fentanyl that delivers their deadliest blow. The money and the poison flow through the same criminal routes. To stop death on our streets, we must target the entire logistics network of cartels. This decisive action sends an unmistakable message to every criminal who profits from American misery. The rules of engagement have changed. When you traffic lethal poison towards our country, you're met with American might. This strong enforcement, combined with crucial domestic efforts, expanding treatment, making overdose reversal drugs available, and demanding severe penalties for distributors, is how we finally restore order. We enforce the law at the border and on the seas so we can save lives at home. The American people deserve to feel safe in their communities. They deserve a government that stops the poison before it ever reaches our children. The death toll demanded an aggressive response, and this administration has delivered it. This is not a distraction. This is a demonstration of strength and resolve, and it is absolutely necessary. We will not back down until these narco-terrorist networks are dismantled and the American drug crisis is finally defeated. We are talking about the future of our country. We are talking about people, women, children, adults that have not been exposed to drugs that have not been exposed to these poisons that could potentially be exposed in the future. Your kids are at danger. Your kids are at risk. Your kids go to school with other kids and are friends with other kids. They play baseball with other kids. They play basketball with other kids that eventually will be hooked on drugs. We all know somebody that when we grew up, we were all friends. And as we got older, they got hooked on something. It was poisonous and it ruined their life. How can we stop this? By keeping it from ever coming into this country. This is what I feel. I feel this is important. And I know that some people will push back and say, oh, the bomb killed 2 or 3, guys on the boat as they were bringing in the drugs. But the fact of the matter is, those 3 guys were going to be responsible for thousands of deaths. So, how do you make that judgment? I think we've got to protect our country. I think this is the right move. And I think that the appropriate action is being taken.